Unrivaled performance and innovation. Before proceeding, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to receive our upcoming videos. The 2023 Ford GT IV, the last track-only model, makes every effort to provide the Ford GT with the highest levels of performance, handling, and cutting-edge technology with the use of an exclusive engine and transmission, an aerodynamic design, and a chassis with a longer wheelbase. A twin-turbo EcoBoost engine designed specifically for the 2023 Ford GT IV, a race transmission, a carbon fiber long tail body, and Multimatics adaptive spool valve (ASV) suspension are all included. 67 hand-built supercars, which honor the original 1967 GT IV race car, are now available to apply to purchase from Multimatic. What is it? A fresh Ford GT. We've traveled on it. It's far past time, too. It has been over a year since it won its class at Le Mans, and Matt Leblanc has driven it on television for a number of weeks. But let's move forward since we have a lot to accomplish. The fundamentals are surely familiar to you, but let's quickly review them because the contentious V6 engine is the ideal choice for this vehicle. It's a chassis car, not an engine car. Therefore, the Ford GT is all about packaging, aerodynamics, and driving behavior. First off, aero was important because road and racing versions were designed concurrently. We wanted downforce, but it had to be efficient downforce. We didn't want to pay high drag penalties, says Jamal Hamidi, chief engineer of Ford Performance. And for that reason, we switched to a fixed seating arrangement, which significantly helped us to reduce the greenhouse's size and lower the frontal area. As a result, you remain in your position in the cockpit and move the wheel and pedals as necessary. First off, aero was important because road and racing versions were designed concurrently. We wanted downforce, but it had to be efficient downforce. We didn't want to pay high drag penalties, says Jamal Hamidi, chief engineer of Ford Performance. And for that reason, we switched to a fixed seating arrangement, which significantly helped us to reduce the greenhouse's size and lower the frontal area. As a result, you remain in your position in the cockpit and move the wheel and pedals as necessary. On the bodywork, though, there are aero devices of various types everywhere you look. The rear lights are hollow and vent air from the intercoolers. There is an underbody diffuser, splitter, flat under tray, active rear wing, and, as Hamidi notes, you would never have a hole unless it's feeding a cooler. Additionally, the flying buttresses that connect the outrigger to the central body have a wing profile and are hollow. How bizarre would it be if an old-school Big Bang V8 was paired with this cutting-edge aero design? The 3,497 dry-sump all-aluminum engine produces 647 bp at 6,250 rpm and 550 pounds at 5,900 rpm, and it drives the rear wheels through a 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox. Double unequal length wishbones with inboard spring/damper units make up the suspension all around. In addition to hydraulic, not electric, power steering, there are carbon ceramic brakes with 6-piston Brembo front calipers clamping 394mm discs. 4-piston calipers handle the 360mm rear discs. There is also track mode. The GT drops 50mm in an instant by turning a knurled knob on the steering wheel to the letter T, confirming with another button press. It appears as though the GT's bottom is a suction clamp. Its total dry weight is 1,385 kg. Therefore, it presumably weighs close to 1,500 when fully hydrated. In other words, not much lighter than an Audi R8 V10 Plus, whereas a McLaren 675 LT weighs 1,230 kg on the dry weight scale. The McLaren is significant because, according to Ford, it is the vehicle against which the GT has been compared. Okay, that's enough information. Let's drive it. What's the verdict? Right now, it might just be the best handling hardcore supercar of them all. The Ford GT does not fit the same category as a supercar like the Audi R8, Ferrari 488 GTB, or even the McLaren 720S. The following stage is where they reduce the weight, increase the aggression, and focus more on the aerodynamics. In the case of the GT, really work the aero. It's completely impractical, which serves as a reminder that driving is everything. And driving it is an incredible experience. It is superbly poised, sharp, stable, and satisfying, always on the balls of its feet. And it's thrilling. This is not one of those impossibly efficient vehicles that is too focused on lap times to enjoy itself. It draws you into its world instead. It is cheerful, vivacious, approachable enough to draw in the less seasoned, and talented enough to captivate the charging. The engine doesn't have much charm or excitement, but there's no disputing the power it provides. Just remember that your touch points will be where you receive your kicks, not your ears. The packaging would be different, and the GT wouldn't have its USP if it didn't have this engine or a V8. Because of the aero, the buttresses, and those insane channels, this car is able to carve out a niche for itself in the market. It's an interesting device. Dearborn, Mick, December 9, 2022. The new Ford GT Mach-E by Ford Performance and Multimatic is a radically enhanced supercar that delivers maximum performance with its one-of-a-kind body, motor, and suspension. It is the ultimate and most extreme track-only Ford GT ever. The Ford GT Mach-E includes a special twin-turbo EcoBoost engine, racing transmission, aerodynamic external design, and chassis with extended wheelbase for better on-track handling to give unrestricted performance, exceeding that of any Ford GT to date. The original GT Mach-E held nothing back for max track performance, and the new Ford GT Mach-E brings it in the same way, said Mark Rushbrook, Global Director, Ford Performance Motorsports. With an even higher level of motorsport engineering and performance, plus a completely new carbon fiber body that is functional and striking, the Mach-E is the ultimate send-off of the third-generation supercar. Only 67 of the hand-built supercars will be made in Multimatic's Markham, Ontario plant as part of the new Ford GT Mach-E, which pays homage to the year the original Mach-E won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. For this $1.7 million supercar, MSRP beginning, a new client application procedure will start. Client selections will be made public in the first quarter of 2023. Late in the spring of 2023, deliveries will start. According to Larry